Hey, my name is Nate. I'm one of the pastors here at Mercy Road Church, and we are so excited for Josh and Lisa to be applying for the Clergy Renewal grant through Eli Lilly. We're just so grateful for them and the impact that they've had in our church, serving so faithfully. So we as a church are fully supporting them to get this time to get away, to refresh, and to renew a passion for Jesus that endures. And it's been so incredible to see all the different ways that God has used them in the life of our church and their leadership. And in fact, I want to share some of those ways with you right now. So take a look at this video that highlights the life of our church and all the different ways that God is moving.
Mercy Road is a fast-growing church in Carmel, Indiana. We believe that you were created for a reason. We believe that the local church should be a hospital for sinners, not a museum for saints. Join us on a Sunday or at an outpost and begin experiencing a greater purpose to life. Mercy Road Church. Live boldly, love deeply. Find out more at mercyroad.cc.
I'm Lisa. Video is not my strong suit, so I asked Josh to do the majority of the video.
And I'm Josh, and I'm excited. We're excited for the Clergy Renewal grant. And you saw a video there about our church. We desire to be a hospital for sinners, not a museum for saints. And over the last 7 years, we've seen so many unchurched people come to Christ, be discipled, live on mission, and we've planted 28 churches in the last 6 years. But I first want to thank the Clergy Renewal Grant Program, because most of that was possible because 7 years ago, we received a grant. We're able to rest spiritually, be rejuvenated. We had planted Mercy Road Church while in pain over losing our second child, Jackson. And this time around, we are so thankful for that experience. But like many pastors and pastors' wives and leaders out there, we've experienced a lot more trauma in the last 3 or 4 years between the global pandemic, civil unrest, and all the things going on in our culture. It's been a difficult time to be in ministry. Yet we've seen God continue to thrive. There are now, 5 Mercy Road churches, and I share all that, not to celebrate a church, but to talk about the behind the scenes. You see in a video how exciting everything looks and the kingdom impact and the baptisms, but sometimes you don't see behind the scenes what's really going on. I know for Lisa and I, we are more excited than ever for this opportunity, and we've done much of the planning of this trip for months with having done this once, what we'd like to see most the next time around. And I know, Lisa, you're most excited to go for 3 weeks with no kids to Israel. Yeah. And I've never been there, and I've preached on it. You've been there, and you have so many things you want me to see.
Yeah.
We're going to get to see where the Jordan River is, and we're going to get to see Mount Carmel where Elijah was. We're going to get to see the Holy Sepulchre and all that kind of stuff. And then go to Athens and Greece and Thessalonica and end up on Crete, which you might be most excited about.
Yeah.
Crete, because they have some of the most beautiful beaches in the Mediterranean. But the Apostle Paul also went there. And so we want you to know that a lot of thought went into this. And for her, that's the most exciting part. I'm obviously really looking forward to that as well. I'm also looking forward to the time, and we're both looking forward to the time that we're going to have the rest of the summer with our kids. This is going to be the first time that we really kind of built this around the whole family and the kids' experience. Our oldest son, when we do this, will be 15 years old in high school. We only have so much time left, and we're excited for them to share in both the faith and the inspiring art and sport experiences that we're going to see, all leading up to for the first time in 100 years, the Tour de France is going to be outside of France at the beginning. We're going to be there in Florence, Italy, and it happens right after the Feast of John the Baptist on June 24th there in Florence as well. And I know we're most excited about some of the experiences of seeing John the Baptist celebrated in his story. Mm-hmm. Because what you may not realize was when we lost our son that night, and I didn't talk about this with the first grant 7 years ago, it was very difficult when we lost our son. I was very angry at God after prayer of not having him be healed and him only living 2 weeks and passing. And in that moment, he laid the story of John the Baptist on my mind and heart, and I shared it with you immediately. And I remember thinking, man, he paved the way for all of Jesus' ministry. He lived a passionate, sacrificial life for Christ, and he was rewarded for it by becoming a martyr and losing his own head. And just how devastating that story is, and yet at the same time realizing we don't get to choose our stories. we get to choose whether we're faithful or not. The end of Hebrews chapter 11, right? We think of the hall of faith, Abraham, Isaac, Noah got to see this prehistoric Titanic and all these animals put on it. We saw, Moses saw the Red Sea part, but the end of Hebrews 11, people were sawed and hewed, lived destitute in caves. We don't get to choose our story. We get to choose whether we're faithful. And so that's really how we've designed this whole sabbatical grant, is around that concept of we want to develop a passion in Jesus that endures. We want to fight the good fight and actually finish the race in ministry like so many pastors and their families are not doing. And we want to do that well. And so we've designed this whole thing around that, and particularly with multiple opportunities to experience things with John the Baptist in mind, or people who have sacrificed for the faith, because that night God laid that story of John the Baptist in our heart, and we didn't realize it, but we had to bury a 2-week-old child. And we did it locally, and we found out later that when we got to the plot, he would be buried in the John the Baptist section of the cemetery. And so John the Baptist has always had significant meaning to us in our marriage and our family and with our kids. And so we want to be inspired over the sabbatical, over the course of that 3 months, of stories like his, to actually live out our calling and what God has asked us to do, to develop a passionate faith that actually endures, to fight the good fight and finish the race, no matter what the story is. So thank you so much for watching this and listening. It's a little bit about our church, why we put the grant together the way we did. We're also sports and arts fans, so there's a lot of inspirational or liminal experiences that are going to teach us about how to actually endure and have passion in all areas of life. And so that's really what the grant is all about for us. Thanks for watching, and we're excited to participate in the summer of 2024, ending at the Summer Olympics in Paris, France. Thanks for watching.